Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here we are, Saturday morning. We're pre-recording a little 5-minute video on little stories here and there. So this is about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And funnily enough, this came up on a TV show the other night where they're talking about kindergarten kids having to critically analyse, what do you call them, nursery rhymes or these fables. And they talked about Snow White and how it could be considered sexist. And most of these stories are to a degree sexist. And if you can imagine the wicked stepmother, I think it is, or the wicked queen banishes Snow White because she's too beautiful, judgment, and that she wasn't pretty enough. So the only way she could keep her reign was by banishing this woman. And the princess was saved by 7 little men. Coincidence? I think not, but I focus on 7 habits, 7 strengths and 7 goals. But that's not the story today. The story is about whether or not kids at 5 or 6 or 7 should be focusing on whether something's sexist or not, and whether it is or not. Is that the relevance, or is the relevance about telling a story and having some fun and singing and dancing and enjoying yourself? Now, I'm impartial. I'm doing my best to be objective and suggest that maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But that's not for me to decide. It's whether or not I enjoy the story, whether or not kids enjoy the story. Because yes, she eats the poison apple, and we've heard a story about the poison apple before, creating sin in accordance to the Bible, Adam and Eve. And she falls asleep and can only be rescued by Prince Charming, the everlasting gorgeous man that comes to save the day. Does that happen? Is it giving false hope to young 5 and 6-year-old girls? Possibly. But is that squashing their dreams? Are they not allowed to dream? Because, as they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So who painted the picture of Snow White, and who said that she was pretty? And who painted the picture of the 7 dwarfs and said that they were short and inept? And who painted the picture of Prince Charming and decided that that's what attractive and charming is? It's in the eye of the beholder. And this conversation came up yesterday with a 21-year-old and someone 40 plus, and both women, and questioned whether there are other shows where there's 2 lead characters that are females. And on the TV show the other night they did suggest it. I don't watch too much TV, but I tend to turn the telly on, and this program seems to be on at 11 o'clock at night or something. It's The Project on Channel 10, and they've got their own views on it. But I find it interesting how very rarely are they objective. They're very subjective, and they have their own opinions. And even in the way they interviewed people, the 2 people they interviewed was a male who looked 60 plus and a female who was obviously younger than 30. So who decided who should be interviewed there? Because the male was basically saying, look, I'm not disagreeing whether they're sexist or not. What I'm suggesting is it okay for our 5 and 6-year-old kids to be analysing whether or not something is sexist or not? We're painting a picture of being consciously aware of what you don't want to happen. You don't want things to be sexist. You don't want things to be racist. So if you focus on it, aren't they going to be continuously looking for it? Aren't they going to continue looking for areas of sexism and racism? Why don't we just let it go? Let it be, and be content with who you are and be comfortable with who you are, whether you're a male, female, gay, straight, a child, an adult, an elderly person, anyone. Black, white, yellow, green, blue. Does it matter? Because all that matters is what you see, what you hear, and what you feel. Think, feel, and behave. They're talents according to the Clifton StrengthsFinder. Your natural patterns of thought, emotion, and behaviour. And that's when they're formed, around the ages of 5 or 6 or 7. And are you telling me that that is the time we've got to get them to focus on what they don't want in the world? On weaknesses and areas of place that we don't want to focus on? Allow them to be free, allow them to run around and not be judged and not have to judge. Enjoy life for what it is and embrace it and love it and be friends with the kids next to you. They're not going to judge whether or not a 5-year-old girl or boy is gay or dark or different. That's inflicted on us from adults and other people older, because they don't judge. They only follow what someone's taught them to do. And if we're going to teach them critical analysis at that sort of age, expect them to be critically analysing for the rest of their life. That's my story today. I'm Danny Crouch from chooseyourchapter.com.au. Remember, focus on your strengths. Bye for now.